Hello and welcome to Herald TV News at 3 with me, Tasleem. The High Court stay on the transportation of ore from Maya mines is a major victory for the people who have been fighting against spillage of ore in the fields and pollution by mining companies from 2004. For years now, about 400 trucks have been racing through narrow village roads and crushing their pipelines, rendering the people without water. The villagers said when they were proceeding legally, cases were filed against them by government officials. All these cases needs to be withdrawn.
High Court stay on the transportation of ore from Maya mines is a major victory for the people. 400 trucks have been racing through narrow roads and crushing their pipelines, rendering the people without water. Villagers demand that cases against them be withdrawn and justice be given to them.
आणि तितूंतल्या तितून भर म्हणून जे फाटल्या काही तेंपाक जे ऑक्शन ओर ह्या नांवा खाली जो हांगासून माल व्हरपाक सुरवात केली तें व्हडलें एक प्रकारचें म्हाका दिसता फ्रॉडूच आसा. कित्याक तर हें जें काम तेंच्यांनी केलें तेन्ना गांवच्या रस्त्याचो विचार करूंक ना. केंद्रीय पर्यावरण खात्याचे जे नियम आसा की गांवांतल्यान रोड व्हरपाक जायना, त्या शिवाय सुप्रीम म्हणजे मायनींग माल व्हरपाक जायना हे नियम हरशीं ऑलरेडी तेंचे आसा. त्या शिवाय आमचे सुप्रीम कोर्टानूय तांकां गायडलायन्स दिल्ल्यो आसा की ते माल व्हरतलो जाल्यार कितें कितें करपाक जाय, ह्यो सगळ्यो गायडलायन्स थंय आसा. हें इतलें आसतना तेजेर मुद्दम काय कितें कोण जाणा की हे लोकांक त्रास करपाक, शेतकाऱ्यांक त्रास करपाक आनी आजूबाजूचे लोक आसा, लोकांचे नारळाच्यो बागायती आसा, सुपारी बागायती आहा ह्या सबंद रोडाच्या सायडीनी, जाल्यार त्या सगळ्या लोकांचे जे ह्या धुल्लामुळे नुकसानी जाल्ली आसा तेजेर सुद्दां आयज कोणीच जाप दिवना. आनी कंपनी कडेन जेन्ना आमी वयता तेन्ना कंपनी म्हणटा आमचें मायनींग बंद, ऑक्शन माल तेका आमी कांय करूंक शकना अशी तेंच्या कडल्यानूय उडवाउडीची उतरां येता. म्हणून आमी उपजिल्ल्याधिकारी कडेन निवेदनां सादर केली की हेका जबाबदार कोण, जे नुकसान आतां आमचें जाता ह्यो ट्रान्सपोर्ट जेन्ना सुरू जालो तेन्ना पासून हेका जबाबदार कोण आसा, तर तेंच्यांनी आमच्या 2020 म्हणजे 2 वर्सां जालीं आतां, 2-2.5 वर्सां जालीं आमी जी निवेदनां दिलीं त्या एकाय निवेदनाक तेंच्यांनी आयज उगडून सुद्दां पळोवंक ना. ही व्हडल्यान व्हडली शोकांतिका आसा. आमी न्याय मागप हो कोणा कडेन, जेन्ना आमी कायदेशीर जशें आमी म्हणटा की आमचे हे सरकारी अधिकारी आसा तेंच्यांनी येवन तेची पाहणी करप आनी प्राथमीक स्तराचेर तेजें सगळें सर्वे करून आमकां न्याय दिवप हें तेंचें काम खरें. जाल्यार हें सोंप्यापणान प्रश्न
सरकारूय ह्या स्कॅमान सामील आसा अशें आसा तें.
हें सगळें जाल्या नंतर जेन्ना तो न्याय दिना तेन्ना आमकां मागीर रस्त्यार येवचें पडलें. सरकार आतां भितर सामील आसा काय कितें आसा कोण जाणा. सरकाराची ती सगळी यंत्रणा, सरकार पेपराचेर बातम्यो येता म्हणटकूच सरकारान हरशीं कान उगडपाक जाय आसलें आनी सरकारान तांकां ताकीद दिवपाक जाय आसली त्या मनशांक की बाबा हें कितें चल्लां तें बरोबर न्हू, तेजेर तुमी एक्शन घेया म्हणून. सरकार ज्या अर्थी एक्शन घेयना म्हणजे सरकाराचे हात भितर बुडलेले आसा काय कितें अशी शंका सहज लोकांक घेवची पडटा मागीर. आनी जेन्ना असो विशय जो आसा हो आमी म्हणटा कितें, आमकां सर्वसामान्य मनीस आमी प्रशासना कडेन न्याय मागता आनी प्रशासन जेन्ना न्याय दिना तेन्ना मागीर कायदो हातीन घेवचो पडटा. हे कायदो हातीन घेवपाक आमकां मजबूर करता आनी म्हणून आमी मागीर रस्त्यार येवचें पडलें आमकां. जाल्यारूच आमी फाल्यां ट्रक बंद करपाचे. तितून आमदारानूय हात वयर केल्लो. म्हणून ज्या दीस आमी हांगा बंद केलें आमचे पंचायत सदस्य काही लोक आसले तेंच्यांनी हात वयर केल्लो, पूण ते एकटोय मागीर रस्त्यार येयले ना हांगासर. आमदाराक आमी फोनाचेर कॉन्टॅक्ट केलो की हें सगळें बेकायदेशीर आहा, तुमी कायदेशीर मार्ग जो आसा तेज्या वटेन रावा, तुमी आमची बाजू धरा अशें आमी तांकां केन्नाच सांगूंक ना. म्हणून तो जर बेकायदेशीर हेका बाबीक सपोर्ट करतलो जाल्यार आमदाराच्या विरोधान आमकां रावचें पडटलें. ताका मागीर आमकां आनीक पर्याय ना.
Directorate of Mines and Geology, which is moving towards auction of iron ore leases, has issued notices to holders of 88 mining leases to vacate the area by June 6, 2022 by way of removing all the machinery and other equipments. The notice is issued under Section 12(1) of Mineral Concession Rule. The leases have been given 1 month to vacate the lease area, which is a major blow to mining companies. Though BJP government had promised to restart mining, they seem to be very reluctant to auction the lease.
88 mining leases asked to vacate lease areas and remove machinery by June 6th. Environmentalist Claude Alvarez has said with this the first mining era, which commenced in 1929, comes to an end. The Goa Foundation moved the Supreme Court for cancellation of all mining leases in Goa in 2012. The Supreme Court in 2014 passed an order declaring that all mining activities in the state from November 2007 to September 2012 was illegal. Now, when the next mining era begins, no one knows, says Claude Alvarez. It is in Goa's best interest that if it does not commence at all, and until and unless the Department of Mines shows itself capable of handling this wealth which belongs to all Goans, responsibly and with absence of crookedness.
The contract to extend and convert the primary health centre Raibandar into a mini hospital has been given to Goa State Infrastructure Development Corporation Limited to complete the interior works. The PHC is currently functional as an OPD and will take 6 months to complete, said Revenue Minister Antanasio Montserrat. Locals of Raibandar have been demanding for a functional hospital for some time now.
The contract to extend and convert the primary health center Rivandar into a mini hospital is given to GSIDC. The PHC is currently functional as an OPD and the hospital will take 6 months to complete. Locals of Ribandar have demanded that a full-fledged hospital be made functional at Ribandar.
See, Library Hospital, as far as the extension of the hospital is concerned, GSIDC has already been given the contract, and GSIDC will start on the work. As far as this, as I said, no, it will be more of a that mini hospital. It will come. We have tender GSIDC दिलेले हैं, and the master tender is already out. GSIDC is supposed to do the job.
So how long it will take, because people of Raibandara wanted this hospital from long time.
See, as far as the other issues concerned, the hospital, now this is main because of the beds and all, we are talking about that. So that has not been done. But otherwise the OPD and all is there as far as the hospital is concerned. Other things are functional. But to have a full-fledged, now if we want to have like almost like a full-fledged mini hospital, then these things should be in place. I think JSIDC will do. I don't know what is the time frame. Must be within 6 months or so. So I guess so, because it is most of the interior work is there.
Advocate Iris Rodriguez has urged the Goa Office of the Comptroller and Auditor General to investigate the entire expenditure incurred and the procedure followed in holding that gala swearing-in ceremony of Goa Chief Minister and his 8 ministers, which was held on March 28 at the Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Stadium in Bambolim. In a complaint submitted to the Auditor General of Goa, Advocate Rodriguez has stated that responsibility needs to be fixed on those responsible for this colossal waste of public funds.
Advocate Iris Rodriguez seeks CAG probe into the swearing-in ceremony scam. In a complaint submitted to the Auditor General of Goa, Advocate Rodriguez has stated that responsibility needs to be fixed on those responsible for this colossal waste of public funds. Advocate Iris Rodriguez, along with his complainant, and along in his complaint, has submitted a copy of the document obtained by him under the Right to Information Act from the General Administration Department of the Goa Secretariat to the effect of that the swearing-in ceremony has caused to the taxpayers a whooping of about 5 crores 59 lakhs 25,805.
All indications are that swearing-in ceremony of Dr. Pramod Sawant and his eight ministers, which was held at the Bambolim Stadium on 28th of March, was a mega scam. A perusal of those documents show that all is not in order. So I have today filed a complaint with the CAG office in Goa. I have addressed the complaint to the Auditor General of Goa, placed all the details in the complaint, and I have also given the Auditor General of Goa a copy of all the information that was furnished to me under the Right to Information Act by the General Administration Department at the Secretariat. Now, as per those details given to me, the swearing-in ceremony has costed around 5.5 crores. But this does not include the rental charges of the stadium, the huge advertisements released by the Goa government in the print, electronic, and radio channels, and it does not include also the fleet of vehicles that were hired by the Goa Tourism Development Corporation as part of the security for the VVIPs who were in Goa. The hiring of those vehicles itself, I'm told, has cost the Goa government around 35 lakhs. So those details are coming. But meanwhile, I've requested the Auditor General of Goa to please investigate this whole issue in detail, because responsibility needs to be fixed on those responsible for this colossal waste of public funds. I have, in my complaint, while seeking the intervention of the Auditor General, I've pointed out that public money has to benefit the public, and let the government show as to how, in squandering all this money on that 18-minute function on 28th of March at the Bambolim Stadium, has benefited the people of Goa.
This is Devendra Gaonkar for Herald TV.
The Indian Medical Association Goa State, in collaboration with Health and Wellness Committee of GCCI, inaugurated the registration of all clinical establishments for biomedical waste management with GSPCB and IT Biotic. Goa has the best plan for treatment of biomedical waste. President of GCCI, Ralph D'Souza, said, and treating biomedical waste is very important. A booklet on waste management in cooperative societies developed by Infrastructure Committee of GCCI was also released on the occasion.
Registration of all clinical establishment for biomedical waste management with Goa State Pollution Control Board and IT Biotic inaugurated. Goa has the best plant for treatment of biomedical waste, says President of GCCI Ralph D'Souza. A booklet on waste management in cooperative societies has been developed by Infrastructure Committee of GCCI, which was also released.
We have had a plant in Goa that is a state-of-art plant to treat biomedical waste. One of the most dangerous hazardous waste, and we have a state-of-art #1 in technology in the entire country. We are very proud of the government as well as the others who facilitated this plant. The chamber has also come with its own initiative. There's a booklet today that has come out. This is for cooperative societies. This is just a start. This booklet will make its round in other areas as well. This is to educate people, to sensitize people how the waste can be treated. Right from the reduction of waste till treatment of waste. The waste is not created by the government. We cannot expect the government to start cleaning up the place. We create the waste. Now how do we help in our environment protection? Is by reducing the waste, by acting very responsibility, by segregation, and by giving it to the government authorities that collect it for the sake for scientific disposal.
We have launched a handbook, a small booklet, which will be also available on a PDF format, which will be circulated to all housing societies in Goa, because a lot of housing societies where we are moving towards urbanization, and this urbanization, a lot of homes come together, they generate a lot of waste, and segregation of waste is very crucial. And when I say waste, it's not only solid waste that we generate in our homes, but also the liquid waste that we generate and which enters into our water bodies, into our ecosystem.
असोसिएशनाचो आयज प्रोग्राम करपाक कारण कित्याक हे पोल्युशन कंट्रोल बोर्ड आनी वेस्ट मॅनेजमेंटाचे IT बायोटिकाक रजिस्ट्रेशन इज मॅन्डेटरी एज पर लॉ. कित्याक बायोमेडिकल वेस्ट आहा पळय तो एकदम डेंजरस. तो दुसऱ्यांक हे इन्फेक्शनां सगल्यांक आख्ख्या कम्युनिटीन, आख्ख्या गांवांक, आख्ख्या वाड्याक वचपाक शकता आमी तो वेस्ट सारको डिस्पोज करिना जाल्यार.
Bureau Report for Herald TV.
Chikali Panchayat is struggling to maintain the joggers park due to lack of sufficient funds and inadequate water supply. The park, which is currently closed due to phase 2 of the maintenance work, will reopen in 2 to 4 days. During maintenance, the contract workers damaged the pipeline and wires, thus causing the delay. Sarpanch Sabi Pereira said that the GSIDC previously repaired the dilapidated children's play area at the park in the past.
Chikalim Panchayat is struggling to maintain the joggers park due to insufficient funds and inadequate water supply. The park, which is currently closed for maintenance work, will reopen in 2 to 4 days. During maintenance, the contract workers damaged the pipeline and wires, thus causing the delay. The Panchayat will again write to the GSIDC to repair the park. He said he will also write to the GSIDC and the PDA departments to grant the Panchayat funds to maintain the park or take it over.
आता सध्या थिंगा सेकंड फेज ऑफ जॉगर्स पार्काचें काम चालू आहा. सो ते कितें मेंटेनन्स करता तेन्ना मातशें कॉन्ट्रॅक्टरां कडेन थिंगा थोडी डॅमेज जालो आहा, वायर जावं पायपलायन कितें. सो ते लोकांक थिंगा मातशे त्रास जाताय म्हूण आमी एक 2 दिसां लागून थिंगा नोटीस मारल्या. 2 ते 3 वा 4 दीस वयतले. ते रिपेरींग वर्क जालें न्हू जाल्यार आमी रोखडे चालू करतले. सो ते बंद दवरूं ना आमी बंद दवरला टेम्पररी, फकत लोकांक त्रास जावपा ना. पूण थिंगा वॉकिंग करता तेन्ना फ्रिली तांकां वॉकिंग करूं मेळों जाय. सो तेका लागून आमी एक 2 दीस मातशें हें दवरला, नोटीस मारला.
आनी थिंगा ते चिल्ड्रन्स प्ले एरिया शेबी कंडिशनान आहा. तेजेर कितें म्हणटा म्हणल्यार रिपेर जातले केन्ना ते हें जातलें आनी झाडां बीन सगळें सुकलां थिंगा.
हय, ते चिल्ड्रन पार्क पळय आहा न्हू तेन्ना आमी एक फावटी रिपेर केलोलें. आमी एका लेटर केलोली आमचे GSIDC. सो तेणी कॉन्ट्रॅक्टरा धाडून तेणी इन्स्पेक्शन करून तेणी एक फावटी आमकां रिपेरींग करून दिलो. आतां हांव तांकां एक लेटर करता तेजें कंडिशन थिंगा चिल्ड्रन्स पार्क आहा तें मातशें बरें ना म्हण. तें कितें आहा तें बेगीनूच रिपेर करून दिवपा जाय. सेकेंड थींग म्हणल्यार आतां ग्रास ह्या टायमार कितें आहा उदकाचें खूब प्रॉब्लम आहा. आनी आमकां GSIDC पळय ते कॉन्ट्रॅक्टर आहलो न्हू तेणी एक फावटी आमकां सांगलोलें एटलिस्ट ते पार्काक 1 लाख लिटर उदक जाय म्हण, दॅट इज 10 टँकर्स पर डे. सो इतले पंचायती कडेन फंड्स नाय इतले पयशे मोडून. सो आमी विकाक एक 8 ते 10 ट्रीप आमी घालताय थिंगा टँकीत. आनी थोडे PWDचें उदक तें सफिशंट येयना, कमी येता उदक. सो आमकडे तें सारकें पंचायती कडेन तितले ह्या टायमार एक 4-5 म्हयने आमकां खूब त्रास जाताय तें मेंटेन करपाक. तेका लागून आमी एक GSIDकूय एक लेटर केल्या आनी एक PDAकूय लेटर केल्या. आतां ह्या दिसांनी आमी फॉवर्ड करपा आहाय. आमी मिटिंगे रेजोल्युशन घेयलो आहा आमचे बॉडी मिटिंगेक. म्हणजे ते पार्क आमकां व्हेरी डिफिकल्ट मेंटेन करपाक. इतले आमी फंड्स पंचायतीचे फंड्स मोडूं शकनाय. लोकांचे पयशे ते आमकां खंय डेवलपमेंटाक घालपाक पयशे आमी थिंगा पार्कां मोडूं शकनाय. तेका लागून आमी एक लेटर केलो आहा. एक आमकां तुमी फंड्स दिचे ते मेंटेन करपाक. समज पंचायती ना जाल्यार तुमी टेक ओवर करचे म्हण. कित्याक आमकडे फुडें आमकां त्रास जाताले. ते जावपा ना आमकडे डेवलप करपाक.
Story by Kiran Borkar for Herald TV.
At the special Benauli Gram Sabha held on Thursday evening, the villagers passed several resolutions that will form the roadmap the Panchayat has to follow with regard to the public demand on the western bypass passing through Benaulim to be built on stilts and to oppose the release of treated sewage water from the new sewage pipeline into River Sal.
The Benauli Gram Sabha passed several resolutions that will form the roadmap the Panchayat has to follow. Villagers demanded that the western bypass passing through Benauli be built on stilts. Benauli Panchayat body will meet on Friday to confirm the resolutions that were passed on Thursday. As a first step, the Benauli Panchayat body will meet on Friday to confirm the resolutions that were passed on Thursday, and a 16-member committee that was formed at today's meeting will meet Friday evening to discuss the implementation of the public plan for the western bypass.
My matter is in the NGT. So the 10-member committee has submitted their report in the NGT.
So you are going to file in NGT challenging the fact finding as far as Benauli is concerned?
As Benauli is concerned. Sarauli, we are welcoming. It's good that they have taken this decision. But if you see facts, it's fallow land. Sarauli, part of it is paddy fields, but Mongol, that stretch, they are fallow lands, water catchment areas, right? But on this side, where you're telling us under sustainable goals to have our own livelihood, You're killing a livelihood by putting the western bypass on embankments. It's your property, what you have acquired. But because of your development, you shouldn't destroy my livelihood. So if you see, on either sides of the acquired land, there are a lot of agricultural lands. And a case where you all can go, anybody can go and verify is nowhere. At Goroti, थिंगा ऑलरेडी बायपास जालो हा केस स्टडी ती आणि ती आम्ही एफिडेविट्स हायकोर्टान देखून दिल्ली शेतकारांची तेमी सपोज मद एक्वायर केला सायडीन त्यांची जमीन एक्वायर करू ना ती पाड जाल्या. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल देयर इज अ ब्लॅक स्लॅग material which is coming in the fields. People are getting infected. They cannot cultivate their crops. So now what? You paid me only for the acquired land. What about the non-acquired space? So you are destroying my livelihood. Besides the damage you're causing to the environment.
आज आमची ग्रामसभा आणि आमकां पळयतालो एक वेस्टर्न बायपास आणि एक सेवेजा लागून वेस्टर्न बायपासा लागून आमी कमिटी काडल्या आणि
on the bypass was the first point. So bypassaचे आता now since there are couple of decisions which have been taken. We have appointed a committee, 16-member committee. 11 are I think from the panchayat, the entire panchayat body, and 5 Gram Sabha members. This 16-member committee is going to now start working on how to ensure that we get stills in order to ensure that a flooding does not take place. Second was to have a meeting with the WRD officials and talk to them and understand and point out their mistakes of how they have knowingly or unknowingly wrongly put in figures and those figures were derived out of wrong information, no proper study, which means 55 square kilometers of catchment area, 10 mm rain. All these figures were not based on a concrete study and those numbers are wrong. So based on this, we would like to understand the WRD from where they got, how they got, and they can reconsider and we can go with their help to the court that समज figures wrong झाले ते होता, which is probably to be reconsidered again. And if this can be put down in court, I think the court will definitely agree that okay, then there is something wrong. Let us bring a hold.
Story by Aditya Bidre for Herald TV.
Factories and Boilers Minister Neelkan Halankar termed the Zuari accident as complete negligence. He questioned how the workers were allowed to do gas welding. They did not know that it would lead to an accident since there was no supervisory staff, he observed. The site engineers were not present. There were no supervisor. We will take action against them, Neelkan stated. The minister also commented about claims by Michael Lobo that he is being targeted. Listen in.
Factories and Boilers Minister Neelkan Halankar termed the Zuari accident as complete negligence. The site engineers were not present. There was no supervisor, Neelkan said. Neelkan stated, we will take action against them.
काल पिच्चान मेला पळय तो ते वाचलो पळय टँक आसलो तो गॅसीचो टँक आसलो आनी वास्तवीक जे मॉनिटर करूंक जाय ते सायड इंजिनियर मेंटेनन्स इंजिनियर हे थंय आसले ती एक गोष्ट जाली. दुसरी जे तेंच्यांनी जे एजन्सीक दिले त्या एजन्सीन हे भायले बेश्टे स्टाफ काम करपी हाडटाले पूण तेंच्यांनी कितें केलें की रुटीन वर्काक म्हणजे जेन्ना सतत मॅन्युअली येना त्या टायमार तेंच्यांनी गॅस वेल्डिंग वापरलें पूण तें कळना की गॅस वेल्डिंग तें अलाव तेंच्यांनी कशें केलें. जेन्ना गॅसीचो खंयच्या हेजो हें आहा टँक आहा थंय गॅस वेल्डिंग वापरलें ऑब्वियसली तें उजो पडटलो. त्या कामगारांक म्हाका दिसता खबर ना की गॅस वापरूंक जायना म्हणून आनी ते सुपरविजन आसलें ते कंपनीचे कम्प्लीट निग्लिजन्स आसलें. सो त्या खातीरूच तो हें जालें कित्याक सुपरविजन नासलें मेंटेनन्स ते कोणी इन्चार्ज आसले नासले म्हणूनच एक घटना घडली. पूण तेजी दखल आमी डिपार्टमेंट घेता आनी कायद्या प्रमाणे जे कितें तेंचेर एक्शन घेवचें त्या प्रमाणे एक्शन घेतले. म्हणून जर तेजे कडेन एक 4-2-10 प्रॉपर्टी आहा आनी खंयची तरी एक एखादी तेजे नदरेन येता ते खरें आसूं शकता खोटें आसूं शकता पूण इन्क्वायरी केल्या शिवाय आमी कांय उलोवंक शकना. जेन्ना तूं करीत गेलो तर तुजे ते सरकाराची आसा की ते फ्रॉडच्या माध्यमांत पयशे कशे घेवप तुजे कडेन जी प्रॉपर्टी ती तुमी ट्रान्सफर करून घेतला. तर म्हाज्या म्हायती प्रमाणे ती सेल्यूट जाली 2016 कन्वर्शन जालें 18 तो मिनिस्टर आसतालो. सो खंय तरी तथ्य आसतलें सरकार असो डिपार्टमेंट असो खंय तरी 1-2% खंय तरी स्मोक केलें जाल्यार ते तेंच्यांनी दखल घेतलो आसतली. तेजेर आमी तो जेन्ना तेजेर घातली तेन्ना ताका उलोवपाचें सहजीकच तेणें उलोवचेंच पडटा, उलयतलो. पूण तशें जेन्ना जालें गव्हर्मेंट इन्क्वायरी एजन्सी आहा ती करतली तेन्ना खरें.
Prakash Kadekar for Herald TV.
That's all we have in today's news bulletin. Thanks for watching Herald TV News. For more news alerts, please follow us on O Heraldo on Facebook and Twitter. Take care and goodbye.